Hello, guys. This is Apostle Ela. Thank you so much for joining us on this fabulous Saturday. Thank you so much. I am looking forward to we will be interviewing Mama Madame Oshun. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. You have been notified. We're going to be waiting on her as she comes in. This is definitely an exciting time for a lot of us spiritualists out here in these spiritual streets. I have been watching some of her videos and her protection videos. And she did talk to me, Madame Oshun talked to me regarding one of the videos that I was communicating about cutting out taking credit for spiritual workings or manifestations in people's lives and not really understanding that unless you actually know that that work is really, really coming from you, it is not wisdom. And I'm just excited about these opportunities that many of you guys, as you guys are being notified that I'm live, that people will be able to participate. This is going to be very, very good. All right, we got our son of Ochosi in the house. All right. Hold on just a minute, guys. I was invited, so if she invites me, how would that go? We're trying to get this together. Give. Hey there, Al Marie. Trying to get this here together. There it goes right there. Wait a minute. And right here. There she go.
Oh, there you
Oh, there
go.
we go. Now we are spiritualists, we're not gurus at technology. That's not
Exactly.
that. Don't be confusing us with this. Yes. Now, if this was a candle or working, then we would be good. But this technology.
I'm trying to told you. I have to ask all the time. Y'all gotta help me get him on. Y'all gotta help me get him on. Y'all gotta help me get him on. Y'all have to. So to everyone of all of my followers, being that I am an elder, and for those who are initiated and those who are crowned, who may be on this live, I greet you in the native Yoruba tongue, Ebode Boye HHA, to all my elders that may be on this live this evening, and to all initiates and devotees, I say welcome.
Oh, wow. This is beautiful. And once again, I want to say my name is Apostle Ely. I'm a pastor of a church in Florida. And one of the things that besides my own personal initiation into the practice in the ATRs, one of the things that I personally like to welcome you guys. I'm very open to the ATRs in my church. One of the things, because a lot of times some people have left Christianity, a church. Most people got a church background. And sometimes they just want to go to church, but they don't want to be judged. They want to be able to still practice voodoo. They still want to practice Santeria or Lakumi and not be judged. Not only I don't judge, I have an understanding. I've been a practitioner of the ATR since I was a child. Grew up in this a very, very long time, and I thought it was really, really important that I give a platform to people that they can be comfortable and not demonize. And one of the things that I have tried to do, Madam Oshun, is to try to show people that from a Christian point of view, that a lot of stuff they see in ATRs are in the church. You know, a lot of the things that they demonize and call witchcraft and sorcery. Christ Jesus, the example of what he was doing, we see all that all through the Bible. Leviticus talks about potions and herbs and all these things. And I just think it's so very, very important that people understand that these are not demonic ATRs. There has nothing to do with evil. And that people need to really, really understand that everything started in Africa, and every form of belief or style of, because ATRs is a science. Thank you so much for the confetti, and I just really appreciate you chiming in to me and giving me the opportunity to come on your platform and to talk and discuss with you. I was quite excited. I was telling quite a few people, and I just think that this is such a good opportunity to show people about unity and how these things correlate.
Let me just piggyback off something that you said, Apostle Ely. The book of Leviticus. I come from a Pentecostal background. You
Uh-oh,
know,
come on now.
I was born and raised in Haiti, you
Mm,
know, and I was born and raised in Port-au-Prince. I came to the Americas, you know, backwards and forth, you know, because my dad had me and my mom would come, you know, over to
mm.
get me during the summer months and everything. So, but going back to the book of Leviticus, the book of Leviticus to me is one of the most powerful books of the Bible, which I work out of heavily in
Come
my
on.
spiritual practice, because people don't understand that that's the book of the Bible where they speak on sacrifices. People say they see people like you and I,
Mhm.
and they automatically think that we're demonic. Well, Christ said in order to talk to his father God that you had to offer him up a pure white turtle dove. So I'm just like, you know, so I talk to God often. I got doves. I got a cage full of, matter of fact, I got 9 white turtle doves in my cage in the backyard. So I'm trying to figure out, how do you say that what we're doing is demonic? You know, no disrespect whatsoever, because everybody know I'm God's biggest cheerleader when it
Come on
comes
now.
to God. I am my Savior's biggest cheerleader. But I said, God is two things. God is the funniest comedian I ever know, because ever try to make plays and watch him change them when you don't
Okay,
include
all right
him.
now.
And number two, I tell people all the time, God is the biggest root worker out of all times. You talking about you scared of this? Well, in the book of Psalms, where he's telling you that if you don't act right, guess what he'll do? He said he'll take your children and garnish their teeth against a rock. And
Come
you
on
gonna
here.
be scared of a sacrifice? No, I don't think so.
And you know the thing about it is, and Madam Oshun, one of the things that you are educated in your study, it's you don't go based off of opinions. You know what I'm saying? I feel that especially a lot of people, even if they've been in church all their life, you would be shocked at how many people really don't read the Bible. They basically go to the church and they let somebody tell them. But even though the scripture says study to show thyself approved, and one of the things that when I got into it, they were calling me the voodoo boy, a voodoo man and a chief demon, you know, because of the type of works that I was doing. I was really young in ministry at the age of, well, actually, I've been in voodoo practice since 13. But what happened was I got into the church around age 19. And because I was already active, I was born to do this particular work. um they always labeled me as such. But when I started studying, I started seeing all these similarities. That's what turned me on to actually studying the Bible, because I saw all the similarities of the practice. You know, I started reading. I'm like, okay, he's at Transfiguration. He talking to Moses and Elijah. That's necromancy. Okay, he's out here. He's putting spittle on the ground and he's bringing back the eyesight. You know, I was like, oh, this resurrection here. I'm like loving this, and I'm like, okay, laying hands on the sick, they shall recover. He's speaking blessings and curses with the fig tree. You like, there are so many accounts from Genesis to Revelation that we see the altars. That's all through Revelation. I told one young lady, I said, well, you're afraid of incense, don't go to heaven, because they got an altar of incense in heaven. The angel standing right over the altar of incense burning, you know, and the terminology about priests. I was like, I did a study the other night about how the man got jealous of his wife and he brought her before the priest, and he took water and took the dust from the floor of the tabernacle and made bitter water. All right, there they got the sunflower. All right, Mama Oshun. All right, but it just like there's so many accounts, and I'm pretty sure you know as well. There's so many accounts when you can see the parallel vision of all these ATRs. That's from hoodoo. That's from voodoo. From even with Palo. I was showing them the different sticks that the prophets were using, writing the names on the sticks and binding them together. I said, well, where you done seen that before?
See, I'm so happy that this platform between the two of us is happening, because these are the type of conversations that I love to have and I love to embark on. It's
Mhm.
the education of what we know, our knowledge, our
Right.
experience, our background. So just let me just put this out there, because I seen a question that came in like 100 comments ago.
Okay.
Guys, I have a bachelor's degree in theology. I have a master's degree in business management and corporate law because when I was, just a young jit graduating from high school, I just knew I was going to be the baddest corporate lawyer that money had to buy. And then guess what I did? I changed my mind. I wanted to study religion. So I got my MBA first, then my bachelor's degree. Then I just recently graduated and became a certified licensed spiritual practitioner in the state of Florida. And I went even further because I wasn't through learning. I wanted to go even more. So you guys are actually looking at Dr. Michelle Williams.
All right, now come through.
I am a doctor. I am a doctor of naturopathic healing medicine, holistic medicine. So when your disrespect comes to me, just know that these higher powers that I got with these 17 spiritual passwords that I've been given to because I have authority in the spirit realm, I'm literally on my platform begging this foolishness to stop because God has already shown me what is getting ready to happen. Everything that I do for my people. I became a world-renowned civil rights activist and leader when George Zimmerman shot Trayvon Martin down here in Sanford, Florida. I'm that Michelle Williams that stood up in the paint, mortgaged my house, and took out $100,000 mortgage payment that I didn't need on a house that was already paid off, and put a bounty out to fish George Zimmerman out because I knew if I put pressure on Zimmerman, he was going to be afraid. I'm retired now, the former chief of staff for the Black Panther Party. So the next time that you say, Madam Oshun, make sure
Run
that
the
you put
resume,
some
David.
respect. Make sure that you put some respect
on my name.
because the stripes on my back, I will not let you convict me or try me on something that God has already said that I was innocent of. Do you understand me? Do you overstand me? That's what I'm talking about right there.
All right.
So when I say that I come to you and I know what I'm talking about, I know what I'm talking about. I am privileged to a lot of information. I literally feel sorry for the young lady that thought it was funny for her to leave a very threatening message to me on my cell phone. And I tell everybody, if I don't give you my private cell phone, anything that on them other 7 phones is subject to government eavesdropping. And guess what the FBI did? As soon as they heard that conversation, because they know that that's the...
Okay, I don't know necessarily what happened. We were going. Okay, we're gonna be waiting on her. I don't know what took place. Yeah, the whole thing froze. This was going so good. Boy, I tried to...
She is right there. There she is.
You went out.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what was going on, but we gonna keep on rolling. We're gonna keep on rolling.
And I did. Just my introduction. And God, it say seeds, oils, soul forever. She say, what in the Oprah is happening?
I like that one. Now that's a new one. What in the Oprah is going on?
We're talking about the topic is we're just having general conversation about these spiritual streets that we see on the internet. So these internet spiritual streets, that's what we're talking about. The conviction. I don't condone and I don't condemn anyone in their spiritual practices. If you meet somebody on a platform and their content is saying one thing, you know what I always do? I always leave a comment or do a follow. They follow me back and I say, you know what? You just taught me something I didn't know. Do you mind sharing this? I'm not on here condemning people, telling people yada, yada, whoop, whoop, because
right, me neither.
I'm not that. I don't have that type of authority. I don't have that type of authority. But wait a minute. Hold on, Apostle Ely. I back that up because my path through Eshu, who some of you all may know, Eligua, I'm the giver of spiritual punishment. Holy Ghost, did you say? Thank you. That's what I thought. See, because I've been initiated since 2007. So I think I got a lot of rank over what's being said on online right now. But it is what it is. Apostle Ely, what can we do? How can we collaborate to bring forth just resolutions when it comes to spiritual practices?
One of the things that I am a big component of when it comes to Madam Oshun, one thing we have to keep in our mind, a lot of these people learn this bad behavior from Christian church. They love to interject how they feel and think about what somebody wearing, what somebody doing, and what have you. When it comes to spiritual practice, and as you know, when you get initiated, everybody's the individual person, and my SU may be different from yours, or my Chango may be different from yours because of my path and my spiritual court, right? And so therefore, when I'm looking at how you may practice issue, I can't comment on that because I don't have your dynamics. I don't have your ancestors. I don't have your spiritual gift or your talent, depending on what God has prepared for you. And I think that a lot of people not considering people's culture, considering people's background. See, my background, it really comes from a lot of those that know me, that my background has a lot to do with legalities, because my family was big in real estate, business, and drugs. So when I practiced magic, it had to work. You know what I'm saying? The things that I had to get involved in very young was because of the things that were going on around my life. So I never knew this faith or religion of hoping for something to happen. When things needed to turn around, they had to turn around. When people didn't need to show up to court, they didn't show up to court. You know, I see a lot of people leave a lot of things in their spiritual practice of hoping and wishing, and or if it's the Lord's will. Me personally, I stay in my lane. I try to teach people to mind their own, because if you don't know a person's background or what type of spirits, and which my spiritual dad always taught, that is so important. If you're born, especially people that are born with gifts and born with talents and stuff, and they are operating, once they have been given a sanction by God, there's no higher court. I call it a Supreme Court. When God says something, if God or initiate a person, because every initiation I went through, even when I went through Palo, it was saying it kept falling on Alofi, Alofi. They kept telling me, saying,
Ooh, you
ask for
ready
what
for
you
that
want.
one right there? Because you
Yeah.
know, Alofi is that spirit that, oh, honey, look, me being a very experienced, I was born into Obia voodoo. Couldn't help who my father was.
Right.
My father was one of the baddest and the biggest organs in Haiti, in Port-au-Prince. And when I tell you, I can't help where I was born and what was practiced around me and what I saw. But when I came to the Americas, I told my mother I wanted to go to Ifa. I studied Ifa before I even went into it. I've always been a person who has curiosity. I want to study before I move. I wanted to study before I leap, because I knew it was getting ready. I knew it was getting ready to happen. My mother told me this. Bayonet said, Moselle, my mother calls me Moselle. She says, Moselle, when you embark with the Orisha, she said, your laws and your luau's are going to have issues. So be prepared. And they did, Apostle Ely. They ran amok through my life for a whole year. I had no balance in my life for a whole year. I basically had to go back to Haiti, and we had to come up with a spiritual treaty that says, I'm not going to walk away from you.
Exactly.
And thank you for welcoming me. So this is why I have them. Like I tell people, in the inside of the house, I have the Orisha. See how pretty it look and everything, all bright and everything? But let me go out there in that garage. It's a whole different atmosphere. When I tell you, it's like night and day. When I get into that garage, I can't even park my cars in my garage because the Lords that took over the garage. Like, you know, everybody got their own corner.
I got this all.
Everybody
This is all. I got stuff all over the place. Yeah. And
people don't understand.
I want to say this
People don't
really quick.
understand that.
I really want to say this, Madame Oshun, is this. Could you explain to people how much of a lifestyle this spiritual walk is for you? Because I think a lot of people get into this for magical tricks, or getting for solutions, or, you know, help me out of trouble, or protect me from an attack. And how much of this spiritual journey is that you giving your life to practice and to serve and to work with the Rishas, the Loas? It is not something that you do when you feel like. It's not something that you do because you ain't got nothing to do, or even though you were curious, you knew the commitment that it was going to take, and the amount of money and resources. that it is so important. And if you have been blessed, just like I was blessed, when it's coming from bloodline, it is very different than somebody getting into this initiated. When you are born into this and it is that energy, that magic is flowing through you, a lot of things are very, very different. And a lot of times I just have a hard time understanding where certain people are coming from because they always telling me, you need to understand. I'm like, no, I don't. Either this, you're going to do this or you not. This is not a game. And I grew up very serious about my spirituality, no matter what particular science I practiced, because that's all I ever knew. I knew it was never anything to play with. If you make a promise or you dedicate to something, it's sacred, and to respect that. In Christianity, they can defile, they can, they believe you can break covenant and just move on. You can say, well, today I'm with Oshun, tomorrow I'm with Etherly. It don't work like that. They act like they can, like in a relationship, you can cheat on. No, that ain't how that works. Those spirits will come for.
You're absolutely correct. When I was 3 years old, according to the folklore stories in my family, my great grandmother discovered that I had the gift, as the old people used to call it back in the days, the gift. She got the gift. And so when they discovered that I had this gift, my great grandmother, my grandmother, my mother, and my great aunties, they started grooming me because my great grandmother knew God had already shown her what I was getting ready to be. Mm-hmm. I am this person who I am today. I stand for justice. I stand for justice. When I decided to embark my life to God first, mm-hmm. to my ancestors, my Egun second, and to my children after I had them, and to the deities. I don't put the deities don't go before the three. They don't go before my children. They don't go before my Eguns or my ancestors, and they don't go before God. And you have to understand, each spirit that a person works with, you have to give them rank in your life. There has to be order in your life, because if not, things will be chaotic in your life. If each of my Orisha have an assignment, what they are to do every day, even my Eguns, even my ancestors, my great grandmamas, my great grandfathers, I don't care who you were on earth. Now you're a spirit. Now you're an ancestor, and this is your position that you have here on earth, because you just not helping me. When my family members are having problems, I know how to go on my bended knee or on my footstool and bow my spirits before my ancestor court and pray for my family members that need help. I know how to go, Holy Ghost. Ha!
My God.
I'm an interceder, and God gave me my position to be his intercession. I know how to get God's attention when I have to talk to him. When I have to go in prayer for the young man that has a great injustice on his head because the police not arrested him without cause. They don't understand the injustices that I'm on a cold case that the NAACP here in Tampa has asked me to spearhead and reopen up when the St. Petersburg police killed 3 teenage black girls by pushing their car in a swamp inside of a graveyard, and there's been no justice. And you think I got time for an internet beef?
Let me
tell you something. I don't have time for internet beef, because guess what? These women who are attacking me, you ain't fucking me, you ain't feeding me, and you sure as fuck ain't financing me. And I'm putting it out there like that. But if I called your name, it'll be a whole different story. That's why I refuse to call their name, because I'm trying to spare them. God had already asked me what I wanted to do about this situation, because he already seen my tears. I went with a pure heart to diffuse a situation between 2 spiritualists that's on this app. Mm-hmm. Then the next thing I know, my phone conversations are being recorded. My ex-husband he works for a high privileged agency. I'll just put it that way. Mm. And when I gave him the recording from the internet, he took it to work. Before he could even play the whole thing, one of his colleagues said, "Who spliced that tape?" So took conversation, bits and pieces of conversations from me trying to calm and diffuse the situation down, and put them all together. You know what I'm saying? My great grandmother said, if a person a lie, they're stealing a cheat. And that's exactly what this is being told to me about this young woman. You baby, you get no energy over here. I'm not allowing no distraction because see, I'm on a course and it doesn't include what's going on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. It includes the injustices that I fight for every day for our people. Yes, while I care about humility and why I care about humanity, I have white people that come to me for help. I have Hispanic people that come for me for help. I have all nationalities that come to me for help because they know in the state of Florida, oh, we got to go to the Queen of the South. I got two. Well, the government gave me the name, the Queen of the South. I hate that because I don't sell drugs, and that's what that Netflix movie is about. The Queen of the South. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's a little. You got to be careful with that title right there.
Yeah. So, but people know how to get a hold of me when they're facing injustices and when things are happening around. Back to what you asked me, this is beyond a commitment for me. This is beyond a lifestyle for me. I don't get to pick and choose when I want to lay down in that bed and just watch TV all day long. Because when God speaks, when I wake up in the morning, when he awakens me, and when I give my praises to him, and I get up and I go throughout the house to the different shrines, and I say, do I have assignments for today? And then I still have a corner of my house where it's just dedicated to where my assignments are given to me at. I sit there and I receive my assignments. I have not had a day's rest since the pandemic.
Wow.
Seems like when the pandemic hit, things got worse. People were losing their jobs. People didn't know people were being evicted. People didn't know how they were going to eat. People didn't know how they were going to do this. People didn't know how they were going to do that. I tell everybody, don't come to me because you heard the great things and you heard about my work. Don't come to me to ask me to protect you so you can sell drugs because I will not do that. I will not do that. I will not. Don't come to me and ask me for that. Don't come to me because you got a body on you. I will not protect you and cleanse you up. I will not do that. See, I got morals in these spiritual streets. And that's what upsets a lot of people because you know how much money has been thrown my way, Apostle Ely, that I've turned down. And I'm just like, so you think you can buy?
Come on here.
You can't buy my shrines. I'm not going to manipulate my shrines for you. And that's what the viral video that I did that put me on the map, because I had been on TikTok for over a year. And then all of a sudden I do one video. Next thing I know, I'm viral. And I'm just like, well, how did that happen? God said it's your time. See, people don't understand. I'm in my winning season. And it ain't nothing that you're going to be able to do. It ain't no Obatala, no Oya, no Yemoya, no Oshun, no Elegua, no Ochosi, no Ogun, nobody, no Orula, nobody is going to be able to stop what God has for you. Because you in your winning season. You are in your winning season. The doors that they closed for you, they are now open you in your winning season. The opportunities that they tried to take from you, they are not back on the table because you in your winning season.
You better preach.
When they tried to come up against your health, it's you in your winning season for good health. When they tried to come up against your children gonna be fine. These are the things that I work on when mothers come to me and tell me, Madam Oshun, my son is having problems reading. I don't want my son. When that mother comes to me in the late midnight hours and tell me that she ain't got no food on the table for her children, don't you dare disrespect me. Because you don't know my walk and you don't know the stripes that's on my body. And I took a lot of lashings for my people. And I kept my neck on the chopping board for my people. And I'll be damned if you think you finna disrespect me on a social media app, because it's not going to happen. But you better be very well careful, honey. Because I eat and sleep and breathe God. God, guaranteed overnight delivery.
Come on here.
Guaranteed that my justice will rain down upon me. I'm not concerned about you putting nothing out on no TikTok, no Facebook, and no Instagram. However, you better be concerned about the God that I serve.
Come on here.
Is who Madam Oshun is. And don't you ever forget it.
My God. We just had 3 segments of church. And we went from church to revival to come on.
Look,
It's
don't make me go
real.
get that tambourine.
Yes,
Don't make
sir.
me go get that
Wait,
tambourine that's over there on the
hold
sofa. Don't
on.
make me go get that tambourine. Don't make
Oh
me
my
go get that
God.
tambourine. So you know what they don't understand, Apostle Ely, all this bad energy that they trying to throw towards me in the ATR and in these internet spiritual streets. In the last 4 days, I have gained 50,000 new likes. So that's y'all problem. Because if you didn't want them to know about me, you sure keeping my name ringing. And so when they get over here to this side of the
Esa.
atmosphere,
Nandarediosata.
when they get over here on this side of the atmosphere, they said, you ain't nothing like what's being spoken about you. You ain't nothing about what's being said about you. You ain't nothing like the slander that's going on TikTok about you. I just said, I ain't got to do nothing. Because see, you never know who got your back on these internet sites. People ain't crazy. See, why my hands ain't doing nothing, and why I'm not lifting a finger to do nothing, I don't know what the next person is doing. Because see, those are interceders. God say he will always place the right people in your life to intercede on your behalf. And you don't never know who's fighting your battles behind closed doors. You don't know who done lit a candle and ask God to intercede on your behalf. You don't never know who done offered up a sacrifice on your behalf
Come
to
on now.
intercede on your behalf. So you know when all of this energy start coming at you and you don't know where it's coming from, just remember it's the things that you not did to people, and you never know who's praying for who and who's offering up what for what. I try to tell
Esa.
people,
Rabashe. Come on here.
all the time, you got to be careful about the people that you hang around, because as we call it in Ifa, the bad osobo, the ajagun that gets on top of your head, you have negative energies that just loom around you. And see, these energies, they go to see these energies, see that they can't use me. These energies see they can't use Madam Oshun. They be like, God, I can't use her. She too strong. She done shut me down so many times. I want her to get on here and curse them out. I want her to get on here and call their name. I want her to get on here and do this. And people be inboxing me the videos and all of this stuff and the screenshots. And I don't even respond, because guess what? I'm not giving that Osobo no energy. I'm not giving those bad energies energy. You're not gonna get it over here from me. You're not, but let me tell you something. God promised that while the people who are doing ill will towards other spiritualists on this app, Instagram, and Facebook, he said he gonna punish the naysayers just as heavy, because you sat by and didn't do nothing.
Come on here.
You never put in a
You were
mumbling
the
word and said, you
audience.
know what? You need to stop this foolishness. See, God punishes naysayers also. Remember that. I said that. I did a whole 3-minute video on that, I think, a couple days ago. That God said he gonna punish the naysayers because you sat by and allowed this type of stuff to happen. You allowed it to happen. Be careful. Be careful, because it's people like myself. I'm not speaking for him and I'm not interjecting him in my conversation, but it's people like myself and Apostle Ely. We got some strong worshipers behind us that pray for us. I got a goddaughter. I promise you, I got a goddaughter, and I tell her all the time, baby, you stronger than me. And she say, Mama, no, I'm not. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Because see, sometimes where I still allow the flesh to hold up in me, you still pure because you still new to this. So you got something going on right now. Your children are always supposed to supersede you, and that's the way my mother Bayonet taught me. My mother told me, I tell people all the time, Apostle Ely, I think I don't want to use the word curse, so I'm gonna use the word blessed. I was blessed twice. My mother was born and raised in Louisiana. My daddy was born and raised in Haiti. So I come from that strong hoodoo. I come from that strong hoodoo and that Obia voodoo, and I'm just like, and look what they produce: a beautiful black queen.
All right, they'll come through now.
Queen. And I'm the eldest of 6. Well, for my biological father, I'm the eldest of just me and my sister. But from the other children that my other sisters and brothers that my mom have, I'm the eldest of 6. So, still, I'm the eldest of 6. So,
I'm the eldest on my mom's side, but I'm the third oldest on my dad's side. I also want to interject you, because you seem like you're preaching my life. I've had somebody recently. I did a wedding for them, and the bride came to me. She said, "You're nothing like people talk about you." And I just really want people to understand that is that when you are a real McCoy, they know. And I want to say this to you, as well as I talk about this. I've reached out to a lot of people on this app, and I've tried to, because I'm a very social person. I'm a very fair person. I don't get into stuff, but I like to promote people and stuff. And you reached out to me, and you listened to one of my videos, and you told me, you said you really need a bigger platform. I think I did a video about cutting out, trying to take credit for stuff, and you don't necessarily know if it come from you, right? And the idea that you personally reached out to me and offered me a bigger platform for me to come on your platform to have these dialogues and these conversations. And then a lot of people saying, well, and the reason I brought that up, because people can see you coming and will not lend you a helping hand. I'm going to say that again. People can see, like, I have a young lady by the name of Era Day. She helped my platform on TikTok, right? And and I'm trying to share to babes that's coming up, when elders or people are part of your progression, those are bridges that got you to a place in your life. No matter what happened, never disrespect a bridge that brought you across, right? Here you come in, you step in, you say, Apostle Ely, your message needs to be heard on a bigger platform. No matter where I go from here.
It does.
Hold on. No matter where I go from here, the proper thing to do is pay homage to you, because you help my platform. And what I tell brothers and sisters, if you can become a part of my history, either helping me or standing by, where I can say that you did nothing. Because if you can, Madame Oshun can see I'm real, then you saw that I'm real. But guess what she did? She went beyond seeing, and she reached her hand out. A lot of you guys, a part of your blessings are a part of helping other people coming along, like you're talking about your God babies and stuff, how you progressing them. A lot of time people trying to walk these spiritual journeys, and you trying to be on the queen or king on the block. This is the wrong attitude. There's many peppers on the bush. And you don't want to get caught out here in this thing, because there's a bigger picture going on. Because God not raising us up for nothing. He's not putting us on these platforms just to have followers, because we got a war to win. And so therefore, we need as many soldiers that are coherent. We need many soldiers that are skilled, because I don't know the day that I'm going to need you to catch my back. You don't know tomorrow I might have to catch your back. But thank God he's here, because if I hadn't helped him, he wouldn't have been here. If I hadn't helped her, she wouldn't have been here. You understand? That we don't see the bigger picture, that pouring into one another actually pour into ourselves. And I still reach back to the young lady that helped me on my TikTok account, and I bless her at times, because I always remember, if it wasn't for what she did for me, I wouldn't have got my 1,000 followers. Yeah, I'm almost 10,000 now, but to get on live, it took what she was doing, and she took her platform and helped me. And I still reach back. I have certain people that helped me along the way. I still acknowledge them to the day. And I hope that somebody listening right now will understand, do not be climbing that ladder and forget the steps you stepped on to get there. I just think that a part of being spiritual is also understanding that somebody else give talent, energy, or resources help you to get to that point. And what the old people say, get too big for your britches. My son brought up to me, he said, I love the way Michael Jackson humbled himself to James Brown, even though he became greater. Because he knew that James Brown, nobody else knew that he was behind the curtain being inspired by James Brown, but he knew. And a lot of his inspiration came from James Brown. And when he platformed, he would come back to James Brown shows and get on his knees and bow down to James Brown. And people like, well, you bigger than him. No, because if it wasn't for James Brown, I would not have been inspired to be that great. You can't take that. And I love that about that concept. If you're inspiring people that you don't even know, right? They wouldn't even have thought about doing it like that. And now all of a sudden, now that you got some followers or some attention, now you're going to forget who lit that fire. You can't do that.
Well, see, And with me being a therapist, you know, one of the things that, you know, I think my professors, they got sick of me. My professor got sick of me because I'm a person on mental. I look beyond a person's heart, their shadow, or the mask. I look at their mental. And a lot of these people, this new social media fame has gotten to them because they come from places of brokenness in their own lives. You know, their mothers
Agree.
abandoned them, their fathers abandoned them, their family abandoned them, the lifestyle that they had to live growing up instead of being raised like a child is supposed to be raised. You
Right.
know, some people don't understand there are two different ways for a child to come up.
Come up.
Either the child is raised properly, or the child just grows up with you having pain and suffering from life, and you just doing the bare minimum because you don't have nothing else to give that child but the bare minimum. So I understand that this internet fame has gotten to a lot of their mentals, because I can see God has given me the discernment to see beyond what I see on social media. I can look at a person's picture and read them. My gift is so powerful. I don't need no Apele. I don't need my cowrie shells. I don't need my chambalangas. I don't need my bones. I don't need nothing to read with. All I need to do is see a person's picture and can tell a person what they aching at.
Come on here.
But this is where I humble myself, and people don't even know. You know, I'm going to share this with you all. And I promise I'm not going to cry. There's two
Promise.
Babalau. There are two Babalau's here in Tampa, Florida. One, for years I called him my brother. Right after he came out of that room receiving Ifa, I seen something so great in him, and I used to hold his little cheeks and say, "You're gonna one day be a great Babalau. Just stay true and honest. Don't let greed get in your eyes. Don't look at the specks in others' eyes, and don't look at the manifestations of how people will use idolatry to get and gain things. If you be true, God is going to take care of you on this journey." Well, it didn't work. He's seen the greed of all these other Elays and all these other spiritual houses and all these botanicas. You know, they got all these black people running in and out of there all day long. The dough like a swinging, like you would swear somebody was selling some dope about it. The way the doughs be
Giving away
moving.
free hair.
Yeah, you know, the way the doughs be playing. And so the second one is a young man that I took under my wing as my son from Puerto Rico. And both of them set my house on fire. The only thing that didn't get burned in that house fire was the pictures of my great grandmama, my ancestral cord, my grandmother's Bible, and my Orishas. The 4,000-degree fire was right on top of them, and it wouldn't even come down the wall. I shared it on my Facebook page. I'm going to share it on TikTok, too. I got to go back and share it.
Wow.
I'm going to share that fire. Not even my Oshun doll, dressed in her most beautiful little gown that the doll got on, not a bit of smut or anything on it. And 3 days later, a white man, his daughter follows me on Facebook, and he's a millionaire. I call him gazillionaire because the man got so much money. He owns so much real estate. You know what I'm saying? In the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, New York, and Boston. The man said, "Miss Williams, do you have an attorney?" I said, "Yes, I do." He says, "What's your attorney name?" I gave my attorney's name, and my attorney called me. He says, "Hey, is this real?" I said, "You my lawyer. You represent me. You know what I'm saying? You
This your
represent me.
expertise.
You know what I'm saying? I'm the entertainer. You represent the entertainer. You supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?" So after he did all of this, after he made sure that everything was legit and everything, I'm sitting in a $500,000 house that I don't owe no payments on.
Come on here.
So every morning I get up, I look around me and say, "What fire?" Because I didn't lose nothing. God gave me 100 times fold everything that I lost. Clothes, shoes, purses, hair, furniture. I had so much furniture. I still got dishes back here in this pantry that I'm doing a giveaway this summer. Brand new pot sets and blenders
Mm.
and bread makers and oven fryers and all this stuff. Because guess what? God says, don't be greedy. And I've never been a greedy person.
Mm.
I've given so much of me. When I won the Powerball back in 2008, won it again in 2009. How you going to stop God's blessing? How you going to stop God's blessing? See, where they thought that they was doing something. One, the young man that I call brother, we can't even remember who the Orisha are. Ifa said that he was going to lose his mind for what he did to me. The other young man that I call my son, don't you cry. The other one that I call my son, he has lost everything. His family, his house, his cars. He's lost his mind. They say his wife got to show him how to put his clothes on every day.
It's real.
That's why I will not, if I know what's going to happen if I call these women's names. They're not ready for the punishment that's going to come. But, you know, when I was talking to my mother about this whole situation, my mother said, you ain't got to do nothing. Because she said, don't you know God see everything that's not happening? You don't think that he done seen all of this stuff that they talk, and I just seen some lady on here calling herself doctor, talking about, I'm on here because she can't believe I'm on here after I just got exposed. Exposed from what? Telling the truth about a practitioner that she was a liar, that how she scammed people, that she don't even have, how you around here talking about you were the daughter of so-and-so and you don't even have a warrior set, which don't even give you no spiritual authority to even be doing no work for anybody. Just because you have your warriors, that don't give you no authority to go and do work for nobody. That gives you authority to start your spiritual journey, to get to the next level of initiation of being crowned, so you will know your path, so you will know what your odus are, so you can straighten things up. People think, okay, just because I'm crowned, I'm this and I'm that. When I got crowned, I had so many bad odus come out, Apostle Ely. We had to clean all of that up. But it wasn't the odus for me, it was the odus of my ancestors, because they left unfinished work on earth, and people don't understand how real this is. The reason why a lot of you all cannot connect with your ancestors, because they left unfinished work on earth. You don't know the promises that your granddaddy made, your great grandmama made, your grandmama made, your mama made, your daddy made. You don't know. You don't know what promises have been made that you got fulfilled. That's why it's so important that you sit down and you listen to the odus. The odu, they were just like, it's certain things in Ifa Yoruba that women can't have. But in my odu, it said that I must have Oshun because of my spiritual path through Oshun. It said that I must have Odom, the dead, because of my path through Ifa. So I'm trying to figure out, you around here playing Orisha, and I am the Orisha. I don't play about nothing. I've since that house fire, since that blessing, I'm just gonna say since that, because it ain't considered a house fire. Since that blessing, since that cleansing. Because see, God said that he didn't want me in Tampa anyway. He said I had not outgrew Tampa. So that's why I don't even live in Tampa anymore. I live outside of Tampa. Even for me to go visit, it takes me an hour to get to Tampa. And I love every minute of doing it. But honey, let me tell you something. Through that whole cleansing, through that whole entire cleansing, God said, tell them peace be still. And I said, they ain't ready, Apostle Ely. They ain't ready for that. They ain't ready for that. They ain't ready for that. See, that's old school. That's old school.
Old school.
My hands and my face is so clean in the spiritual realm. Since that house fire, I have not had to offer up one sacrifice, not one ebo. Ifa says, just tell her it's her choice if she does it or not. But put a dab of palm oil on her tongue and say their names and see won't Ifa do it. And even though they doing what they doing to me, Apostle Ely, I still won't bring them that type of harm because I know what it'll do. See, because I think with my head, I'm not a reactionary person. I've never been a person to just react off what something that somebody's saying. Because here it is, you have this young lady, you have this one young lady saying, "Oh, this person won't follow me on TikTok and yada yada whoop the whoop." And then all of a sudden now you done lied on me to gain the attention of the person that don't follow you. Now all of a sudden y'all friends. How
Hmm.
that work? How
You
that
know,
work?
you made some very solid statements, and I've said this before. And whether it's your situation or my situation, when you're a person of power and you know how things work and you know how things function, a lot of times people don't realize that you know the damage that can be done to people. And I always try to educate people about knowing who you dealing with. Because a lot of times people just throw things out there, but you got to know when you running across somebody real. I know there are people out here that are putting on facades, and I know that people it got a good talk game or whatever. But I encourage all my brothers and sisters, know when you run across that real McCoy. Just know, okay, I did. This man was a liar, that man was a liar, but know when you messing with a real man. Okay, that woman was a liar, this was a con out, this was a thief, but know it. Because do not get so jaded by so many other people with schemes and plans that you overlook somebody that when you do run across real, it's for real supposed to recognize real at the end of the day. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And anybody with real power and connection, they know that if they do certain things, a lot of times people say, if I had your possibly if I had your power, I'd do this and do that. I said, that's why you don't have it. Because I know if I got upset one time and I said, if I put your name a certain place, if I mention your name in a certain way, if I think on you too hard, things are gonna go down. I already know that. So a lot of times, as I've gotten older, I take a very calm approach, or I won't talk. Because what I'm doing is trying to collect myself. And I like what you were saying, because the fact that if you don't, TikTok ain't gonna save you. Instagram ain't gonna save you. I know that there's a profit behind having people follow you and thinking you the big bad wizard or the witch. But at the end of the day, you got to get and live your real life. You see what I'm saying? When me and you get off this internet, you gonna be living in your real world. I'm gonna live in good thing. We live good, right? So, but there are other people, you know, you're not living like that. Don't let the internet presence make you forget not the right checks you can't catch. I really believe that so many people think whether, they got small followers. Because if you real, it doesn't matter if you got a little followers or you got a lot. Make sure that you are not crossing in lanes that's over your head. And I just think that it's so sad that our people choose out of all the things they can attack, Madam Oshun, like out of all the work that needs to be done out here in these streets, that we decide to use our energy, our ashay against one another when you don't know if you're going to need me tomorrow.
And the thing about it is, the one young lady that is actually on the internet attacking me, once I found out that 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 she was not all the way put together with the Orisha, I told her, come to Florida and I'll crown you and you don't owe me nothing.
Mm.
A crowning for Oshun is anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000. And I'm talking about my face so clean, I can pick up the phone and call the farm and say, I need 3 goats, I need 5 golden hens, I need the quails, I need the palomas, I need anything that I need. I can call certain botanical stores, I need yada yada woo woo. I can call different babalaos, I can call different santators and say, hey, we got an Oshun crown and come help me set this room up. And won't nobody look for no payment. See, that's the power of respect.
Come on
When
here.
you have it, that is the power of respect.
Well,
When
y'all
you
done heard
have
that
it.
before. Keep on. Go ahead,
I
Mom.
was getting ready, I was getting ready to do this all this for free, because I'm just like, you operating under false pretense and you hurting more people than you are doing a good service to them. But then when people call you for readings, you got to outsource something to Nigeria. And then when the Odu come back from Nigeria, you know, sent this stuff to people. These people don't understand this Iwa dialect of a language on how to take care of this. But you not told this person that you this big Oshun priestess and you're nothing. And I was trying to save this person, save their face. But you know what God showed? He didn't show me. He showed a man on here, because the man, he's an elder. And this man is watching me all the way from Cuba right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, what Ifa showed him, he says, both of these women, not only are they going to be begging my forgiveness, both of them are going to get in trouble where they're going to need my help, because it's my Oshun path that will stand up in front of them and save them. And he told me, don't move.
It's real. Let me tell you something. When I tell you that people have tried to close my room.
Let me just do this right
Go ahead.
here.
Go ahead.
Insta underscore pimp. Who are we talking about? We talking about the internet streets. So before you come on here trying to bring a comment, to take a comment, like my grandmama say, and my great grandmama in Bayonet says, ain't no dogs bringing no bones and carrying none over here. So if that's what you about, go on, baby, because this ain't the conversation for over here. Because let me tell you something, every word coming out of my mouth and this young man's mouth over here, it's anointed and it's protected. So I'm not worried about it. So go find you something safe to do, because over here bothering with the two of us in this conversation, in this live, it ain't what you want. I'm telling you right now. This
It
ain't the
ain't safe
energy.
over here.
This ain't the energy that you want. This ain't the energy that you want. This ain't the
And
energy
I'm gonna
that
say
you
this, and because I got some babes out here. Until you are prepared to be out here in these spiritual streets, and this is why I tell people, I wouldn't be out here, and I would not be having these type of conversations if I wasn't grown enough to be out here in the streets, because you got to be able to hold your own out here. And one of the things that I try to encourage people, when you got bad teachers and you learn, just like when parents teach their children to lie, elders, if you coming up under somebody that is conniving, a liar, keep up mess, you can tell by the pastor whether the church messy or not. If the pastor about a bunch of junk, then the people gonna be about a bunch of junk. It's the same thing in these tradition. I don't like a lot of foolishness. I pretty much stay to myself. I go to work, church, and home basically. When I want to do my dirt, I do that, but I pay for that, so I do that when I want to. But my thing is, when you out here, make sure that you're not trying to get into other people's situation, because if you don't have the proper protection, you can end up getting hurt trying to call yourself standing up for somebody. It ain't nothing wrong with you liking Michael Jackson over Elvis Presley. But at the end of the day, don't get your ass whooped cheerleading for Michael Jackson. Because Michael Jackson don't know you. Neither does Elvis Presley. They just somebody you like. It's a difference. You understand? Like, you out here
You
arguing
just
about
said,
a
look,
football player that don't even know you. And now you done got in a fight and you in jail or in the hospital. And them people that you fighting about don't even know you. So, like, have some wisdom. I don't get into other people's situation. Madame Oshun is woman enough to handle her business, okay? All we doing is talking about subject matters of experiences that we have gone through, and hopefully that many of you guys will understand why these things are so important, to go through these proper protocols and grow and develop to the point where you can actually represent these traditions in a more wholesome and effective way, that people actually know how to behave as other new initiates get involved in the stuff. You want to know how to conduct yourself. I do not. My kids, even some of them are not initiated, but they know how to go into any practice, go around to any botanica, and know how to behave, because they're raised from home. They know what to touch. They know how to talk, communicate with other spiritualists, and they don't get into it. Some people just lack basic manners. Some people just, like, you don't come in somebody else's live because you don't believe in something and then start interjecting. You don't like what you hear and leave.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a buffet. I don't eat spicy food, right? They're not going to take the spicy food off the buffet because I don't eat it. Keep my ass moving. Find you something that you eat on the buffet.
This is true.
Yeah, like, nobody gonna shut down their business because you don't like my personality. Nobody's gonna When I got called into he knew all of that. When you got called into what you got called, they already knew your personality. That's why I don't change for people. Either you can swallow it or you can't, and that's okay. But I'm gonna still be doing me because they knew all this before they empowered me. They knew all this before I got on these paths, and they knew that what I was gonna do and what I was going to say. That's why I believe in speaking my mind. And if you're gonna be I'm gonna say this way. If you're gonna be a truth teller, make sure you are self-sufficient. Make sure you can hold your own spiritually, financially, and naturally. Because if not, you're gonna end up telling lies because you need. You're gonna end up double crossing people because you need. You're gonna end up lying. I had somebody do a reading and told some members of my church that I was doing work against their mother and killed their mother, and just because they wanted the funds. And my thing was, I wasn't upset with the reader as much as I was upset with the person that's supposed to know me. See, when you don't, I tell people all the time, if you can't trust me, you don't need to be in my church. I don't have time to be working with somebody that don't trust me. If you, the only way that Isaac was able to get on the altar with his father Abraham, he had to trust his father. If somebody's going to be your godchild, they got to trust you because they're going to be things you're going to tell them they don't understand or they don't agree with. But they got to trust that your judgment is correct for them, that you got their best interest. Or how y'all going to have it because they don't know what you know. They don't have your experiences. So how you going to tell me what's right or wrong when you don't have my background? There's reason you know what I'm saying? How can you realistically tell me that I'm doing something wrong when you ain't got enough on your resume? You ain't never killed no bear. You ain't never killed no lion. You ain't never killed no Goliath. You don't. When you into naming your background and your experiences, this is why this is important. I tell people all the time, you don't even know what I'm used to dealing with. I was dealing with that kind of stuff as a child. I was dealing with court cases as a child. I didn't just start doing this. I didn't go and read a book and watch a couple of videos and now I got candle work going on. That ain't how I got here.
I think some of my aunties, some of my great aunties used to pimp me out, possibly because they knew I had to give. Look, they knew I had to give, so they invite the people over and charge them all this money, and I come in there because they knew that I was gonna come in there and say, "Well, that's not right," and and my auntie would come in the room where I was to my, "What you see on this person? What you?" And so when I was growing up, all I know is I had a whole bunch of baby dolls, a whole bunch of clothes, a whole bunch of little purses and everything, because they used to take care of me because they was using my gift, and my great grandmama peeped game on them and say, if y'all gonna use her like that, y'all better make sure that y'all pay her because Moselle is a real spirit. And people don't understand that there are real spirits here on earth. I don't understand that. Y'all want to believe in UFOs, and you want to believe that the government is hiding all this stuff from you, but you yet to believe that black people can be oracles and sent from heaven and be angels here on earth. That's why I treat everybody right. That's why I don't entertain foolishness. I can get, let me tell you something. I can shut what's going down on TikTok down in 30 seconds. But I won't entertain the foolishness. But because regardless of whether or not what their behavior is, I don't know what type of behavior. I don't know what type of person that these people are. I don't know or not. I'm being tested by God to see if I'm going to let the flesh rise up in the midst of adversity, because that's all this is adversity. And see, as long as people keep giving that young lady an audience as she tried, see, the only reason why she defaming me, because I would play the audio where she says, "Oh, you blocked me, I'm going to go even harder on you." That's what she said, this out of her own mouth in the recording. Because I blocked her, she's going to go harder on me. So now you telling lies. Now you making up stuff. But see, black people, that's what it discouraged me sometimes about us, because we be so readily to listen to negative information, but we be so quiet when it comes to the good in people. How many people gonna get on here and spread my resume? How many of y'all gonna get on here and spread my resume now? But y'all are spread some negative shit.
You know what? This is like, if I feel like you talking to me as a mirror. Like, out of all the good that I have done for people, and it seems like it is so easy for somebody to, it irks me. It's like, And I see where God come from. You're like, if God's so good, then why you treat him like you treat him? You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody, like, you don't get to these platforms, you don't get to these places without being original and being unique in your own way. And out of all the good that you do, if somebody says something, one negative thing about that person, it spread like wildfire. It's like, what's the old saying say, before truth can put on his pants, a lot of them made it almost halfway around the world. And it's not other people. Our people, for whatever reason, they love to see negative press or news about one of us, and it's sad. You know, we act like we got a bunch of people out here that know what they're doing. We act like there's a lot of people out here that are empowered to actually move mountains. We act like there's a lot of people out here healing the sick and raising the dead. We don't have a lot of miracles that we actually see. People been in churches for years, done live and die, and still waiting on the prophets to come to pass.
You know why? I see. Let me answer a comment real fast, Apostle Eva. Somebody had asked me about mentoring, and I'm really considering mentoring a few people. The reason why I have to be careful about what I do, because I am a blessed, natural born spiritual healer. I heal with my hands. That's why I never let people touch my hands. I don't let people hug me. If I'm not the initiator, people try to steal your energy. So when I do spiritual healing, I have to be careful, because God says, how are you going to charge for a gift that I gave you? See, people think the Orisha doing this. This ain't the Orisha. This ain't my lords or my luau's doing this. This God's gift to me that he entrusted me with. So this is why I don't charge people. When people, you can leave a donation. I tell them the shrines, they like fresh fruit. They like habanero peppers. They love flowers. They love liquors, fine liquors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They love. I can't remember the last time I actually came in this kitchen or in one of my kitchens in one of my former houses and cook some real food for myself. My kids growing up, Apostle Ely, they'd be like, now wait a minute, the saints eating better than us, mama. The saints was keeping the lights on for us. The saints was keeping this roof over our head for us. You know what I'm saying? Because I was a young mother in college, got pregnant with my daughter because I fell in love with her daddy. You know what I'm saying? Fell in love with him, and and I'm just like, and he took care of me. You know what I'm saying? And I met my son's father from Colombia, and I was in the deep, naked woods of Cartagena, Colombia. Oh my God. I was just like, but I was about that life back then. You know what I'm saying? I tell people, don't, you know what I'm saying? I was about that life back then.
Hey.
I had me one of them. I had me a big one, you know what I'm saying? Big one. So I was just like, I'm just like, I just, calm down. And when God put me in a situation, he says, I'm paraphrasing it, because I basically, God say, you gonna get too big for your britches? I sat down. God said, you forgot about your assignment. I said, I did. And he said, I'm finna test you. My son was born at 7 months with one lung.
Wow.
They gave him 24 hours to live. I knew what was going on. I called my grandmother, and my grandmother said, go and put your face to that wall right now.
Come on, Hezekiah.
I did exactly what my grandmother told me to do. Put my face to the wall. And I turned to the nurses in the NIC unit, and they called his doctor, and the doctor said, well, a nurse has to be on the outside of the room when you go down to the chaplain. I took my son down to that room, took him up out of that incubator, and lifted him up to the ceiling and said, this not my child, this your child. And I hear you loud and clear. My son is 28.
Come on here.
28 years old. He says, this lifestyle or your son? I chose my son. So don't think that your disrespect is not being listened to by my Father, because it is. Because I'm on a journey, and everybody who has become adjacent to me has come up. Everyone who has adjacent themselves to me has been prosperity has come down on them. Abundance has reached them. Wealth and success. Businesses now turned around. Entrepreneurs got sales out the roof now. Everyone who is adjacent to the Spirit of God, which lives and shines through me, because I've allowed that Spirit to use this Spirit as his vessel.
Mm.
Your level of disrespect ain't gonna be put up with. And it stops today. I promise you that. It stops today. I ain't gotta curse nobody. I ain't gotta say nothing. But I know for a fact, even though you smooth face and shave, let me tell you what God says. A man or a woman who is foolish enough to curse a gray-haired elder has cursed their lives. Under this beautiful wig that I got on, my hair is silver as long as this wig. This man, even though he clean cut for his job, he got gray.
That's right.
Keep
That's
disrespecting
right.
gray
Better
hair.
say that.
Keep disrespecting the people with gray hair. And I ain't talking about somebody who went and fraudulently tainted their hair and dyed their hair gray. This hair under this wig is gray because God made it of wisdom. Your level of disrespect in these internet streets has been duly noted. So guess what? You ain't got nobody to blame but yourself of what the consequences
I ain't
that's
do
getting
nothing
ready
to
to
you. You
come.
did it to yourself. That's what I said. What? Oh,
I
you
tell
did
it
that to? No,
all the
I ain't
time.
did that. No, they did that to
I didn't do
themselves.
nothing. You did it to yourself because all week long, Apostle Ely, all I've been trying to do is calm this situation down. All I keep trying to do is calm this situation down. I'm not about to curse nobody, to put no voodoo, no root work, no nothing on nobody. Because I love my children and I hell of a show love my grandchildren.
Mm.
Let me tell you something. You ain't worth a candle. You ain't worth a pigeon. You ain't worth a ram, a sheep, a quail, a gallina, a gallo, a pollo, a paloma. You ain't worth my money. You ain't worth my money. And my money will not be spent on returning nothing back to you when all I got to do is say, peace.
Be still. The ashe of the tongue.
I've enjoyed this and I want to have many more platforms. You know what I'm saying? I've invited you to this event that we're trying to put together for June, Apostle Ely down here in Tampa, and people are just ready. People just like,
Thank
Madam
you.
Oshun, I need
You
that.
really blessed me. I was really excited. Thank you so much for even inviting me and thinking of me to come to that platform. Yes, I'm excited
It
about
is
that.
going to be electric. It is going to be electric. You know you're doing some good work when you got the mayor's staff, the chief of police, the sheriff reaching out to you. You need security. You need this. I'm like, well, wait a minute. How you heard about it? People talk. It's like the talk of the town right now because people know when Madam Oshun comes into town. I don't brag, I don't boast, I don't have to because my work speaks for itself. But people like I love enjoy East Tampa is the heart of the hood in
Mm-hmm.
Tampa. East Tampa. Everybody come, they want to go to East Tampa. Everybody want to ride through the hood. When I get in that little beat up car I got out there and I ride through the hood, sometimes I'm stuck at the same spot for hours and I'm just supposed to be driving and cruising through the city because one phone call and she here. So I know when I'm going into the city how I got to prepare myself, prepare my body and my head covered, everything that I'm gonna need. You never know when I'm gonna have to do something immediately work for somebody. So I got this little cage and I keep him in my back seat. You know what I'm saying? I keep a dove with me. I keep a paloma with me. I keep a gallo with me just in case I got to cleanse somebody real fast. I see something that's supposed to be on somebody. Oh, baby, I can't let you leave them. I'm not gonna let you leave them in my presence. And I see something ill will on you. See, that's why they mad. See, it's not the fact that God children who can see who I am mad at me. It's that Osobo.
That's right.
That Osobo. That negative energy is angry because when people try to come and dispel who you say that you are, Because trust me, if I ever open up this ain't the Publix bakery. Ain't shit motherfucking coming out this thing sweet. I'm going to tell you the truth. So if I ever said something about you, it's because God showed me who you really were. Trust me. If I've ever spoke something about you, God showed me who you really were. Like I say, you can put on that mask all you want to. God about to snatch it down. I tried to help you protect yourself and keep it tight for you. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen a little bit of good in you, but God said, nah, go ahead and unloosen it. So the mask finna come off. God just say, sit back. Holy Ghost. I see you.
They is loving that lipstick. You is working that. They is working that.
And you know what? It's not even lipstick. Let me tell you something, ladies. When I was a little girl, I used to have this little bag. My mama still got this bag today, y'all, and I'm 51 years old. My mother to this day got this little bag that I made when I was 14 years old, and I wrote makeup with a black Sharpie marker. I wrote makeup on it. My mother still has that bag to this day because my mother did not let me wear makeup until I was 16 years old. And so I was just mesmerized by it. So I barely buy lipstick. I love the pencils. I am the mixer when it comes to the pencils, to the lip liners, to the lips. So, ladies, it's actually a lip liners. It's actually two different lip liners. It's the navy blue and it's called the sunlit yellow. And I just
I
mixed them
love
together
that.
to
My
make it
blue is my favorite color. I was like, oh my God.
to make it green. You know what I'm saying? See when you know royalty, you dress in it. You dress in the
Come on.
finest of the finest. You know what I'm saying? And you know the colors of royalty. Everybody can't wear that royal purple. Everybody can't wear that royal blue. Everybody can't wear the sunshine. Stay in your lane, cause I'm gonna stay in mine. Stay in your lane, cause I'm gonna stay in mine. Well, Pastor Eli, I don't know what time it is. Let me check. I don't want to keep you too long.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 6:21. I not kept you 20 minutes too long. I just want to thank you so much. I just want to thank everybody for coming on. And like I say, guys, I got my team working on the event flyer because it's going to be a digital event flyer that's going to be going out. Everybody going to be able to purchase their tickets to the Eventbrite. I know everyone is not going to be able to make it all 3 days. That's why I had to go in deep prayer mode with God and say, God, I know what my team and I know what my staff is saying. I know what the lawyers are saying, but God, I need to know what you're saying. I need to know what you're saying. I need to know the practice, the prices from you, God, because I'm looking to save souls and get people on the right track. There's going to be a plethora of gifts that I'm going to be giving out. So, it's like my little worker bee hands going to be working to make sure that I have all these gifts out. So we are, the most important thing is we're going to be offering, vendor spots also for people who have their merchandise and stuff like that. So it's going to be and let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be in the heart of Ybor City, which is our little New Orleans, our little Mardi Gras. So guess what, you're gonna have a plethora, because that you have to understand this is a weekend event. So that, and you have to, on a Saturday, on a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday in Ybor City, you have to understand there's over 100,000 people. So guess what? I can't invite all vendors. I only have enough space for 10 vendors, and that's going to be a hard choice. That's going to be a
Wow.
hard choice. Yes, that's going to be a hard choice for me because I only have space for 10 vendors. And I tried to talk to the owner of the spot. He was just like, look, madam, I know who you are, and I don't want to have the energy exchange. And I'm telling you, this is an old Italian man. He's just like, madam, I know who you are. But he says, if I do this, then I don't want the fire marshal to come in and shut us down or shut your event down. So I'm just like, okay, 10 vendors. I'm going to stay to 10 vendors, 10 vendors. So
Wow.
what I may be able to do, even though it's 10 vendors, it may not be the same vendors for all 3 days. One vendor may not be able to afford, for the whole weekend. That vendor may just be able to do for that day. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. So I got to take that into consideration too. But I am looking so forward to this event, this energy. Honey, let me tell you something. The event is entitled Breaking Generational Curses. Because let me tell you something. Everybody ready to run to magic. Even if you get to magic, it ain't gonna work until you break them curses.
That's right.
Boom.
Got to.
See, this not what they want. That's a whole different
Yeah, that
live right there.
they don't really get on ancestral energy and a lot of stuff. If you don't remove those blockages and free up your ancestors, how they gonna be? Because that's your first line of the defense. And a lot of times you keep looking at what the positive, but there's some negative stuff, whether it's health issues, whether it's relationship issues that are still tied in your DNA that you need to unravel that stuff.
I'm just 2 minutes, and I promise I'm gonna let you go. I'm not. Let me tell y'all about generational curses. My auntie had died. She been deceased now 7.5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And when she died, she was a huge gambler. And she was, we used to call her Mae West. Boy, she used to carry that little pistol up in them big old titties. Okay?
You got me with flashbacks. I used to call it Titty City. I was like, oh Lord, we go somewhere there. Like, Lord, they're digging in Titty City again. Jesus. Yeah.
So when my auntie died, it's like all the women in the family, our money froze up. So everybody was reaching out to me, Moselle, Oshun, what's going on? Moselle, Oshun. Well, I got some family members that call me Madam. Madam, what's going on? I said, hold on, let me go on the mat. And I rolled out the mat, called on down Oshun. Oh, hell no. Auntie done died and blocked my money. We got to do a ceremony. And you know what the ceremony was? She had promised one of the spirits that she was working with that she was going to bake him a homemade pound cake topped with dried fruit cocktail. Man, let me tell you
That
something.
sounds like Saint Expedite.
Mama, Bayonet, how do I mix these ingredients to make this homemade pound cake over here? How I make this pound cake? I made that pound cake. And you was right on the money. Gave Saint Expedito, bought him a bread, bought him I ain't know knives can cost so much money. That stainless steel knife that I bought him. But I got fancy with it. I had took it to an engraver and wrote all the women's names in the family on the you know what I'm saying, on the dagger that I had purchased for him. And I set up a spread for Saint Expedite around his shrine. And soon as I did that, it's like the sky cracked open. I said,
Boom.
Lord have mercy. Yeah, so some of y'all ready to get into Ifa, Santeria, Yoruba, Hoodoo, Voodoo, Palo Miami. Some of y'all ready to get into all this stuff, and you got to take care of your ancestors first. There is a special reading that's done. That reading takes every bit of 4 hours. I don't know what Elay's people come from or what the practice is, but I know through my lineage, the way my Olawos do it, I was on that mat for 4 hours and couldn't get up because once you call down Ifa, you can't move off that mat. You can't move off that mat. You cannot move once Ifa is called down and that oracle spirit comes through that Babala of that Olawo to speak. He cannot get off that mat to even use the bathroom. He must stay there until that oracle is finished speaking through the divine appelle. So you better know what you're doing. So when we did that reading, my reading took 4 hours because they said, although we know you want to go traditional Ifa, you can't because of your lineage. You must go Cuban. You must go up the West Indies routes because it's in your DNA. Everybody want to run to Ifa. You don't even know which lineage you coming from. You around here practicing African Ifa and the shit too strong for you. That's why you're getting fucked up.
Oh my God. It's the truth though. It's the truth. I had carried out some ceremonies over my pots, right? And I was using the sticks, right? When I tell you the spirit came in there so strong, I've been asleep for almost 3 hours. Like I don't even anybody that really know me, I'm constantly going all day. I don't sleep through the day. That spirit was so strong in my prayer room today. I was like, Minister Mario was like, "You ain't got but 5 minutes." 5 minutes. I was like, I'm to my hours. It was woo. I said, boy, I hate to be on the other end of that right there.
Yeah. Yes. So people, I get a lot of some questions coming in. How do you find out your lineage? First of all, you have to get with a real Babylao who wants to see you obtain your destiny. See, a lot of people can't reach their destiny because you know had roadblocks. People
Mm.
done dug holes for you. We call them traps and snares from the Bible. See,
Right.
I can't let that hoodoo side of me get away from me
Yeah,
because
yeah, we know exactly
yeah,
what that is.
so the traps and snares that they done set for you, you can't get around them until you learn where you come from and how you got to get there and how you got to take care of that. This is real. That's why I say these internet spiritual streets, they something else. But I ain't, let me tell you something. It's a couple things that I ain't finna do with a fool. That's go backwards and forward, round and round, in between, and I ain't finna exchange no, I ain't finna even tongue wrestle with no energy that think that they know it all. Cause my mama say, you know, if two people arguing, how you gonna know who the fool is? I'm just being quiet. And y'all see I'm not responding to any of this foolishness on here. I'm not responding to any of it.
Some of you guys are asking that you do not have. Let me tell y'all something. When I was in high school, I used to leave one city and go and spend time. A lot of you guys, everything about spiritual walk is not convenient. If you want something, you got to either go to it or be around or afford to have certain people. And even what Madame Oshun is doing, she's bringing certain people to the city. That stuff costs money. It takes a lot of connection, insurance, and stuff like that. But everything that you may want or need may not be in your particular city or your state. Sometimes you got to, if you recognize and resonate with somebody, you got to go to where they are. I used to leave high school and go to my spiritual dad, which is in West Palm. So that was like an hour and a half drive every day that I made when I was a kid. So a lot of times I just have a hard time accepting a lot of people using stuff as an excuse, because if you want something bad enough, y'all leave y'all kids at home to go lay up with a no good Negroes. Like you make room for what you want to make room for. So if spirituality means that much to you, the sacrifices you willing to make for foolishness, like there's nothing that I don't do or won't do when it comes down to my spiritual walk. So that when I hear these kind of things, to me, they're excuses. If you want something bad enough, you will make room for it. You will get into the spaces and the places that are going to enhance you and make those proper sacrifices if it's worth it to you. And I don't go around saying, "Oh, he made me come." No, he made me do nothing, but he had what I wanted to learn. I liked his style of practice of magic. I liked how he talked, because he cussed a lot. He talked trash. He go off. You know, I was impressed by him. He was running his own business. He take care of his wife. He was a type of man, because I was raised up by a single mother. You know, a lot of my power that I got come from female. You know, my mother bloodline. You know, I was raised spiritually, so I was impressed with my spiritual dad because he was a male figure that I was seeing being responsible. But a lot of my I always tell people, you're not certain things. A lot of people work on me. You're not. My anointing is matriarchal. It is not. I am not a male chauvinist. I understand where real power comes from. Power comes from the womb. And I just want you guys to really just take out time. If you really want to go through these spiritual practices, that you and your ancestors will make space for you to do that. But don't use excuses.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just know that you know the elders that are praying for this event, and you know we've already done divination on this event, and I love it. I love it when I'm on the WhatsApp calls with them in Nigeria. I'm loving this. For the last 27 years, I have sent one barrel a month for 27 straight years to Nigeria. The sacrifices that I've made when I didn't even have food in my own house, I made sure that that village that helped raise me on my spiritual walk, that they're taken care of. Sending them food, clothes, cell phone chargers, used cell phone. I had a whole cell phone drive where we sent 1,500 cell phones with chargers and extended chargers to Nigeria to help the village that helped raise me. Because you know why? Tampa thinks enough of me to say, if mama need our help, mama gonna get our help.
Come on here.
So mama need the help. So my children made sure that I got the help. In the state of Florida alone, the reason why I'm so envied by a lot of these spiritual practitioners, because in Florida by itself, I got 6,000 godchildren. I got a special laptop with all type of micro security systems on it, so it's never hacked. I don't even use the internet on that. And I'm careful about even allowing my grandkids to even get on there and just, Grandma, can I just play this game? No, you can't play nothing on there. But my godchildren mean the world to me. Their information, their readings, their odus are privileged to me, the head. See, the head can't move without the body. I'm just the head. So if the body ain't right, if my children ain't right, if my elate ain't right, if my house ain't right, if I'm not right, we're not gonna move. We're not going to move. So that's why I say you got to be careful about who you following on social media, because people are doing things behind closed doors and you're getting a reading and they're saying, oh no, you need to do this and you need to do that, when that reading is really about them. You know how many times I did a reading, I had to stop the reading and tell the person, hey, look, I got to call you back. Let me go cleanse myself because I'm seeing things for me that's coming up in this reading, and I need to go deep into this oracle to see what's going on. You know how many readings I done stopped doing that? See, that's a skilled professional, a real person, a real reader, a real diviner who knows how to read and knows how to know when they're coming up in a reading that they got to stop that reading, cleanse themselves, and then start all over again.
Come on here.
Come on. They don't understand this. They don't understand this, that this is real. Ain't no faking over here. This is real. You got to pay attention about who is trying to lead you. Because God says in his house, there are many mansions. That's why I don't get upset with these people who say that they practice this and that. Because I know in the spiritual house, there are many mansions. You practice one path, pathogen. I practice one way. You practice this way. They practice that way. They practice. But guess what? We're all in a spiritual house. And see, this is the thing that pisses me off about Black people. The deities, the Orisha.
Mm-hmm.
The Orisha came with the slave trade to even be introduced to America. And so when the Orishas when the slaves brought the Orishas over here to the Americas with them, we were supposed to pick up the mantle of making sure that our wealth and prosperity and spiritual protection, our abundance, our increase, everything that we're supposed to have in life, that is taken care of. Can you imagine how Black people will be? Can you imagine how strong and powerful our race will be? And we put aside this bullshit and get together and make one big ass mega motherfucking ATR that this nation has ever seen. But you know what? That's too advanced for you motherfuckers, because you can't understand it, because you're looking at the right now. Nobody wants to look at the long term. Nobody wants to look at what's down in the future. Everybody wants the money right now. Everybody want what's right now. Everybody want microwave. Everybody want to put this in the microwave and it be done in 1 minute, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, or an hour at the most in a microwave. Don't nobody want to put the pot of water on the stove and boil that water the traditional way. Everybody want everything done the right the wrong way at times. You want everything to be so fucking fast. This ain't a fast experience. It's not a fast walk. It's not a fast practice. It ain't no fucking fast money. So whatever the fuck you think you're doing, god damn it, you better get this out your head right now.
And you better preach. Oh my God. Thank you so much.
Everybody want to go to fast microwave route. I see people walking into botanical stores. I done been in even my own. I stopped messing with one of my vendors because I actually seen the owner of this botanical store take a set of Ilekis off of the shelf. Obatala, Shango, Yemoya, Oshun, Elegua, and Ogun. She took it off the shelf, dipped it in some Florida water, sprinkled some cascadilla over it, and say, here you go, now they blessed. I said, I don't even want this stuff. I go find it on Amazon or go find me another vendor. I didn't even buy my supplies from her because of what she did to that young man. Them Orisha ain't no bit more walking with that young man than them Alekis, them Kadatis was hanging on that shelf in her office.
The idea that she would even do that.
They don't care, Apostle
Yeah.
Ely. They don't care. But see, they think that this a fashion statement. They think that this is a fashion statement until you wearing this and one of them open up on you and all them little beads go all over the floor. Now what you gonna do? Who you gonna run to? You think you're gonna be able to run back to the lady at the botanical store who sold it to you that put that Florida water, that casket over it? She did her job. See, she was on an assignment too to keep you coming back to her.
That's right. No, and you know what? There are so many tricks to this. And one of the things that I like, I'm glad that you say that. I was safeguarded because it came. My spirituality came up bloodline, and so I was protected from a lot of the charlatans out there. But there's a lot of people that out here trying to learn spirit and don't realize that there are so many dishonest people out here just trying to make a dollar. And that's what I was talking about yesterday about these fetishes. If your fetish don't have no spirit, if your igun or your ochosi or what or your pot, your shot, whatever you got, or your talisman, your elekes, your braid, if there's no spirit, you don't have nothing. You don't have no protection. And some of y'all paying for just a look. You know, instead you don't have, and it's sad. You're not gonna know until you get in a real war that you butt naked. Half of these people, when they find out that, and normally you're gonna find out too late, because a lot of these people, they think when they hear the word they got protection, they feel like they could do and say whatever they want to say. Or if they hear that, oh, your ancestors are with you, that means that you can go out and disrespect other people. I don't know why that comes to people's mind, but that ain't how this works. And so when you up under the illusion that you are way more protected than you are, some of these people out here like they're President Biden, like you got the CIA following you everywhere. You ain't got it like that. You understand? You might have a little chihuahua that'll bark if somebody come in your yard. You might have that kind of protection, but you don't have CIA protection. You ain't got lockdown that they'll lock down the whole city because you coming through. You ain't got that kind of protection. So let's be sober minded. Because you can have protection, but you know what I'm saying? It's like a vest, right? You got these organs protected, but your head, somebody can shoot you in your head. You got protection on you, but where is it? Your front might be protected, but your back wide open. So out of ignorance, a lot of you guys maybe out here, I'm just trying to share enough information why this is so important to come to these conferences, to be around certain people, because they're going to mature your mind so you can think more realistic. Yeah, you got your front door covered, but your back door wide open. You still got. And let me tell y'all something, whether you get double team, triple team, and I thank God for my father. My father's deceased, but my father, he taught me how to fight. And the way he taught me how to fight, we have to fight in a circle. And what my dad would do, he'll put one person in there, you would fight that person. If you start winning, he'll put two. So I learned at a very young age to fight 3 and 4 people at one time. So you can imagine what kind of spiritualist I am. I when they say a host and camp round about me, I'll be like, I'm ready. Bring y'all asses. Because I'm going through all it. You know what I'm saying? I understand how to, because I grew up like that. I grew up fighting, knowing how to watch my own back. I grew up fighting, knowing how to pay attention to more than just one set of hands. Because some of y'all think y'all hidden, but you ain't really hidden. I'm just waiting to knock your ass out. That's all.
Let me just give a snippet. That Friday is the meet and greet. You get to meet me, Apostle Ely, and another special guest that I'm bringing on board. We're going to have some finger food. We just going to mingle. That Saturday, we going to crack the sky open. I know it's going to be a lot of tears. I'll make sure I have a lot of tissues because, talking about wounds is going to be, we going to have some healing. That Sunday, baby, when I tell you nobody leaves my presence without getting a spiritual cleansing. When I tell you I literally now invested $2,500 in all white turtle doves for cleansings.
Mm.
When I tell you ain't nobody leaving the state of Florida dirty. You hear what I say?
Come on here.
Ain't nobody gonna leave dirty.
I hope y'all excited about this. And I want y'all to hear the investment that people have to make in order for things to be right.
I'm sorry. I'm not coming half cocked. I'm not coming half cocked. This for me is real. This for me is that My Father has thought enough of me to be the vessel to make sure his children are all right. And even the ones that have let go of his hand. That's why I asked that question over 2 months ago. What made you give up on God? You ain't got to give up on God to have a spiritual walk with nobody. He just say, don't put your idolatry before him. That's what he says. He said, don't put your idol gods before me. And if you put your idolatry before him, he gonna show you that he the biggest root worker. Okay,
That's
he
right.
keep playing with
He gonna show you
God.
the power.
Let me
Where
tell you
your
something.
God got their power from. That's what you better find. You gonna find out where Oshun got her power from. You better find out where Obatala got his power from. Never forget who boss.
We got an old Batala bishop in Tampa, and honey, he bad as I don't know what. Woo!
What?
Yes, honey, we got a bishop. He's a old Batala priest, baby. He bad as I don't know what. I don't go into his church though, but he good. He's good. Well, again, I just want to say to each of you, I thank you all so much for giving Apostle Ely and I this time. Please, if something that you like and you listen to from this young apostle, please reach out to him. Reach out to him. Let me tell you something. See, this is what I'm seeing also. If he can fix you and you feel comfortable with him fixing you, you go to him. If I can fix you and you feel comfortable coming to me, you come to me. It don't work that, this ain't about me. This ain't about Madam Oshun. This is about God's children. This is about helping you on your journey. This is about helping you to your destiny. Can't nobody on here say that they reached their destiny, not even me. I'm just 51 years new. And God says that he got so much more work for me. I say, God, my plate already on overload. I feel like the octopus. God, you got me like this right now. I'm trying to catch everything because I don't want to miss nothing. I don't want to miss none of my assignments. So if something that Apostle Ely has said to you this afternoon has resonated with you, reach out to him. That's what he's here for. That's why I invited him on my platform. This is a platform not about this. Let me tell you, this ain't about Madam Oshun. It's about you. Helping you get yourself together. But let me tell you one thing that I ain't gonna tolerate. I don't tolerate shrine hoppers. Don't hop from him to me to the next person, to the next person, to the next person, to the next person. Because every time you do, you leave some of your ashe there. And everybody ain't gonna be as honest as me and Apostle Ely. You may run up on a bad one that may do some bad stuff to you. Be careful. God done showed me his spirit. That's why I'm not connecting with the flesh. I'm not connecting with Apostle Ely, the man. God has connected me with his spirit. That's why he's here on this platform. And God told me to give it to him. I'm very obedient. He didn't reach out to me. I reached out to him and says, I need you to come on my platform because I'm being told to give you my platform. That's discernment. That's knowing who God is. That's knowing who God is. Okay? So I got to go because I got some people that drove all morning long from North Carolina. I think it's 14 of them. They rented a van and they're at the hotel down the street from my house. They called me a couple hours ago.
You got to get busy.
And they waiting right now. They were just like, Madam, we know. I already told them. I said, everything is already set up. The table is prepared for them
already. I want to personally thank you. I just personally want to thank you for not only your generosity of your platform, but your honesty. You remind me of my grandmother, my spiritual life. It's just so many of my spiritual teachers, how you conduct yourself and how you talk. I just want to thank you for allowing me on your platform. And as a black man, it just warms my heart for a queen and a black woman to open her heart and her. It means a lot to me because I just see so many of our people going astray. And it's if we're going to be constantly told how to treat black women, then we also, as a black man, we want to see how black women treat black men. And you've been very gracious to me. You been very respectable to me, and you handled me very well, and I really appreciate that. And once again, thank you for how a lot of my members are chiming in. They are loving this, they're enjoying this, and I just really appreciate that spirit of how you handle this whole arrangement and the opportunities that you have graced me with. As just I'm gonna say this again, and I hope that people are listening to this. Black women are the creators of the universe. I've told people this before. My powers come from a black woman. I am great. I am powerful. I am a lot of things, but it is due through the canal, you know. And I really, I hurt when our black women attack each other because you're setting the wrong look. Because it's people like me that look up to y'all and expecting y'all to do what's right, so I can go out and witness the real truth. I'm an advocate for what I know is true. And I appreciate you giving me the opportunity that when I represent and I say Madam Oshun and what she has to offer as a male, that I can represent it with respect, with dignity and honor, because that's important to me. And so a lot of our practices will regain its power and balance when we understand where these energies are coming from. Most of all the Orishas are female. The archangels are female. They've been given male names, but if you really, when you look at the energies, they're female. The moon, the stars, Jupiter, they're female. They're not male. There are male
They,
energies,
they
but
ain't
they're
ready for
female.
that. They ain't ready for
Well,
that. They ain't.
like even in the Bible, it said Christ is the seed of the woman. That's the evidence and that's why my magic is so strong. You know, But just because you female don't mean you powerful either. There are certain women that are in position. That's that virtuous woman. Her price is above ruby. So I once again thank you so much. I'm gonna let you get on with your day so you can go and serve and cleanse and do what you do. But thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And I hope that a lot of you guys that are growing up under me that understand respect is something that you earn. It is not something you can buy at the mall. It is not something that you can put on. You have to carry yourself in a certain way that people don't have a problem teaching you, showing you, or blessing you with things that belong to them. Because nobody got to do nothing for you.
And just like the church, we gonna end this with a prayer because God says, "Do not end this live without reading something." Because, like I say, I see beyond comments. I see hurt and pain. So I just want to remind everybody that God says in Psalms 28, "Until thee I will cry, O Lord my rock, be not silent to me, lest if thou be silent to me, I become like them that go down in the pit." See, when you good to God and you listen to God, you ain't gonna go down like your enemy. Pay attention to God's word. Hear the voice of my supplications when I cry unto thee, when I lift up my hands towards the holy oracle. Draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace in their neighbors, but mischiefs are in their heart. Give them according to their deeds and according to the wickedness of their endeavors. Give them after the work of their hands. Render to them their desert. God gonna serve these people up something righteous and you don't even know. I don't have to say nothing. I'm not doing nothing. What you have done to God's daughter, what you have done to his chosen one, is what you have done to you have done to yourself. Give them according to their deeds and according to their wickedness. I read that. Because they regard not the works of the Lord, nor the operation of his hands. He shall destroy them and not build them up again. Let me tell you something. People, like Apostle Ely say, some of y'all think these titles now went to y'all head. A lot of these titles now went to y'all head. Oh, you crowned this and you crowned that, and you went there and you went there and you went there and you went there. God say, I will knock you off your pedestal and remind you who you are
Rules and
and where you
regulations
came
still
from.
apply. The rules and regulations, don't care where you at.
Blessed be the Lord because he that heard the voice of my supplication. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusted in him, and I am helped. Therefore my heart greatly rejoiced, and with my song will I praise him. The Lord is their strength, and he is saving strength of his anointed. Save thy people, O Lord, and bless thy inheritance. feed them also, and lift up them forever. Let me tell you something. If you don't know what I just did, I just disarmed them. You have no authority. You have no authority. Because let me tell you something. See, like I say, I studied theology. The book of Psalms in the 28th division says that this is the book of Psalm that Christ used when there was mischief in the city. When Christ used to go through the townships and people were arguing and they knew that Christ was coming, they would go to him and say, Jesus, so and so over here doing this, and Jesus, so and so over doing it. God says, let me remind you what David said. Oh, y'all don't think I know what I'm talking about? I ain't got to do nothing but read a book.
Said enough.
Not unto him who was able to keep us from falling. Rest, rule, and abide in true and honest heart. Father God, we ask that you bind Satan, that he has no dominion over us. Father God, everyone under the sound of my voice that has watched this live this evening, Father God, whatever they are seeking, their inheritance that's in heaven, let them know that their heaven is here on earth. That there is no such thing as streets paved with gold and milk and honey that's up in the sky, is here on earth. And your heaven, if you work diligently and your heart is pure and your hands are honest, with a pure and honest heart, you shall have your heaven here on earth. God bless each of you. Amen.
God bless you, Mama Oshun.